Hello, everyone. I figured since it's the start of the new year, I would make a video about my plans going forward. Uh, 2025 was my first year making videos for strangers, essentially. Like I've made a few videos here and there for like friends. Those mostly just gameplay. So this was quite a new thing for me, and of course I'm still learning a lot. And I've had some thoughts about like what I've been doing with the channel and where I want to go with the channel. So I'll go over that in this video. So first, there's going to be some changes to my upload schedule. As you might imagine, trying to upload a video or do a stream every day, that's quite tough, especially with the videos I'm making. They're relatively long and they sometimes take a lot of work. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. There's also just, uh, even though so far I've been able to keep it up, it the teams aren't always like as interesting. Like there's a lot of lately. There's been a lot of the same style of teams. There's been a lot of just battle tower because I don't have enough time to make newer teams and like a different style, like say a more offensive battle tower team, or to learn a new facility like let's say the dome or the arena. So I want to give myself more time for multiple reasons. And for the videos, that's going to mean I'm always going to try to make a video on Saturday. So far, I've been trying to release like the most interesting video I've had on Saturdays. So that will continue. Of course, that wasn't always the case because I didn't always already have a video for Saturday ready. And for now, the only day I know I'm guaranteed gonna upload a video is gonna be Saturday, because I'm not completely sure yet. Like how much time will I have, depending on what I'm working on. It's probably gonna change. Like some videos will take more work, but if I have enough time, I'll probably also upload Tuesday and Thursday. So that's 3 videos a week, which should be a lot more manageable and allow me to take on projects that take a lot more time and also just relax a little bit because it's tough sometimes, especially with me. Like I have a lot of trouble sleeping sometimes, and I think that's also like made some of the videos a lot worse than they could have been because I just didn't sleep enough, both in like my commentary not being as good and also my gameplay not being as good. Like the Murkrow streak, which I threw at multiple points in one battle, stuff like that. That hopefully will be better when I have more time to make my videos. Then the streams, I've been enjoying the streams a lot, and I think I want to keep up like at least one weekend stream, one weekday stream. For now, that's been Friday, Sunday, which I've liked quite a bit. So that will probably be how it stays, at least most of the time. Like maybe I don't have time on a Sunday or whatever. Maybe I'll switch around. Like the video will be on Sunday, the stream will be on Saturday, whatever. Or there'll be 2 weekday streams because I didn't have time in the weekend. Things might change, but this will mostly be how it stays. And then another reason why I want to take more time between videos is I have another channel, which you might not be aware of. It's almost the same name. And originally my idea was to release like more, how do I call it, like higher quality content, like a summary of, let's say, my Tangela streak where I got over 100 wins. I want to make like a summary video, like why did I use Tangela, how did it perform, that sort of stuff. That's something I've been working on. But I haven't had the time and the energy because of how busy I am with this channel. So that's another reason I want to take it a little bit more slowly. And I want to have at least monthly uploads on the other channel. But depending on like if I get more experience with it, it will speed up the production of those videos. And maybe they'll be like every 2 weeks or whatever. May also depend on what I'm working on. Like again, some projects will take longer. So that's it for the schedule. For the Emerald Battle Frontier, which has been most of the videos on the channel, and I think why most people are watching, and this will, at least for the foreseeable future, the focus will mainly stay on the Battle Frontier and Gen 3. So the first goal right now, I'm almost finished with my Nostalgia playthrough on cartridge. And after I'm done, I will do the all gold symbols with average IVs, no trading like as if I only have emerald. Also have like dead battery restrictions. Basically want to do this in a way where any player could do the same thing. And it wouldn't take a massive amount of work. If you're kind of like a more casual player, you would be able to replicate what I've done. And I don't necessarily want people to copy my team exactly, but I just want to show it shouldn't be like impossible. Like a lot of people have the idea that you need like perfect Pokemon and only legendaries and all that sort of stuff, and I don't think that's really needed. So I'm gonna do that. That's gonna take a while. Also, another reason why I want to take more time between videos, because I'm gonna have to catch these Pokemon. Although I might and train them and stuff. I might do that on stream. I'm not sure yet. But that's also gonna take some time. Then there's gonna be more fun teams, challenge teams. Like I haven't had as much time for some of these. Like the team you see on screen right now, Team Cowbell, something that came up in one of Riley's streams. You would never run this normally. Tauros, Miltank, Chimecho. Like 2 normal types. Tauros is really good. Miltank is pretty good. Chimecho is not good. So yeah, not a great team. And this was probably like I came up with, like I already knew the Pokemon because it's Team Cowbell. I came up with like the moveset mostly. Like there's a few moves I'm not sure about, and I need to look into like the EVs. Like what is my strategy gonna be into fighting types and that sort of stuff. But like again, I haven't had time to work out all the details. So this will probably be a team you'll see in the near future. But there will be many more to come. Then there is the team, the gym leader team challenge that I started on Roxanne like months ago. But I think I only made like 2 videos about doubles in the tower with her team. Because as you might imagine, having to build a team based on the gym leaders who only have one type and maybe not the best Pokemon of that type either, it's tough, and it takes a lot of time. It's gonna take multiple attempts. Like I'm not completely sure yet what the rules are gonna be. Like the goal is to see, can this gym leader beat I'm starting with the battle tower, or I've started with the battle tower. Maybe it will be like, can they beat the whole frontier at some point? Or at least some of the facilities. Like the dome would be the easiest one. Maybe I should switch to the dome. That would be so much easier. At least I think it will be. I hope so. But yeah, I haven't really had time because of, and also there's the Roxanne team is quite bad. because of course the rock types they have quite a few weaknesses, and with water type being extremely common, it's tough. And like doing the battle tower, it takes a long time, especially with having to grind back up after every attempt. So that's something that I'm gonna be working on as a challenge, hopefully, and turn into videos for my other channel as well. And then there's also gonna be more serious teams, like both for like trying to get some long streaks again, like I've done before, but also just making a team that I think would be good, showing them off, and then just moving on to a different strong team. So an example would be Gyarados Steelix Dusclops, which I've recently used. Like I've only played a few rounds yet, but I think it's pretty good, and I want to try it more. But what I also want with serious teams is to use a Pokemon that maybe isn't as good, but build a team that would be good with that Pokemon. So not quite a challenge team like Tauros, Miltank, Chimecho, but more like the Dusclops Steelix Mantine version of this team. Because Mantine is not really a good Pokemon, but I think this team might be pretty good. Maybe not 1,000 wins good, but we should be able to get 100 wins at least. And maybe more. We'll see. I don't know how much I'm gonna use it yet, and maybe I'll run into like something like a Pokemon or a combination of Pokemon that are just almost unbeatable. Who knows? So some of that you only find out when you're playing. And then other content, I have some more ideas for frontier related things that may show up in the future. They may not show up in the future. We'll see how things go. But for now, there will be plenty of things to do in the frontier, especially with how many facilities I still haven't done that much with yet. Then for my streak goals on the cartridge, because I've done some pretty decent streaks so far. In singles, I have a 225 win streak as my record, which I recently lost on stream. And then in doubles, I got the 289. Both are in level 50. Open level, I have 147 for singles. That's still alive. And I have 151 in open level. That is no longer alive. I want to get 300 wins in both singles and doubles. At least in one of the categories. Maybe in both. I think for doubles, both doesn't really matter as much. But for singles, I think it kind of does. Because of Tyranitar, the team style that works really well in singles is a more stall-oriented style, either full stall or stall into setup. Like set up your sweeper. And with Tyranitar around, with Sand, that is not nearly as good in open level. So getting a 300 win streak, or at least a decent win streak, there would require a different team. So that might be interesting. I have this as my goal, like a goal. It might happen this year, it might not happen. I might also, like, the main goal is to beat the records I got on my 3DS. So maybe I get like 250 wins in singles. I'm like, this is enough because I've beaten my record. But I think 300 would be a nice goal. And for doubles, I'm already almost at 300 for my PB. So that one will need to be 300. Then I recently got a second copy of Emerald because I'm really interested after doing doubles in trying multi-battle. Because it's going to be a little bit different. Like you can eliminate one side of your opponent, so you end up in a 2v1, which I think would be really interesting. There's going to be some differences in team building. Like you can only switch with one Pokemon because You have 2 Pokemon on each side. I want to try that out, but because I've never done it before, I don't have a goal. But I'm gonna try for a decent streak, definitely over 100. And I may also try to get a decent streak in multi-battle with AI partners. Because I think that's also interesting. I think you can record mix to get a guaranteed good partner. Like your record mix from your other save file that can become a guaranteed partner. So if you give it a good team, you can always have a good partner. But you can also reset the trainers to guarantee, like, until you find someone you like. I've done a little bit of multi-battling so far. I've only uploaded one video about it, which was a funny one. I think the AI is so, your AI partner, it's so cursed, but it's really funny sometimes, but also really frustrating. But yeah, we'll see. I've done more. I've got an okay streak at the moment, which there may be some videos about in the future, because I've recorded most of that streak. And then dome singles and doubles, I don't have a goal for it, but I do want to build some more serious teams. Maybe I just want to do like the Persian team on cartridge to get 100 battles. One like I've done on my current save file. Maybe I want to do something else. And for singles, I haven't gone too deep into like serious team building. Like I tried out the Gardevoir recently, but that's more for my cartridge average IV attempt. But I do really like the dome. So I would like to make an attempt at a serious streak. But yeah, I haven't tried, so I don't know what my goal would be. But there will be a serious streak going. And then other facilities, I don't know yet. I haven't really put that much time into most of the others. So don't know how much I like them, how easy it would be to get like a decent streak going. Like, do I like it enough to try? Do I have any good team building ideas? And I don't like want to copy a team that is already like has a really big streak from another player. I want to make my own teams if possible. Of course, there's only so many Pokemon available, and depending on the facility, there's only so many strategies that are really viable for longer streaks. So we'll see how that goes. All right, other Pokemon games, because I've not been playing only Emerald, and I will continue to play other games, even though most people are really only here for the Emerald Frontier content at the moment. But yeah, I also like the videos here will be also aimed so I can make videos for my other channel. And it may also be live streams instead of videos, because I've been enjoying the live streaming, like the playthrough of Emerald, and I probably will do so with some other games. And like before I made the content I'm making right now, I had planned to make like more nostalgia based I mean, this is still nostalgia based. We're playing Emerald. This game is 20 years old. But I had planned like a playthrough of Red. Like I already started recording on the virtual console before I decided I want to get a copy and use that save to play through Stadium, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So Gen 3, which is what we're mostly focused on right now. I haven't played through Colosseum NXD. I do have the games. I got them somewhat recently. But I've not done a playthrough, so I'll probably stream these playthroughs in the future somewhere after I finish the Emerald playthrough. And I think that would be fun. Also, I've heard the post-game battle challenges are interesting, so maybe I'll make some content for that as well. More than just playing through it once. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Then there's, like I said, Gen 1, Pokemon Red. This is the first Pokemon game I ever played, and the first video game I ever completed. Or, well, beat. I didn't get like the full Pokedex and whatever you might consider completing the game. And for Stadium, I've also never beaten Stadium because I never had like a save file to play with Stadium. So I did play it a couple of times, but only rental Pokemon. I didn't like the sets a lot and that sort of stuff. So I would like to play through Red and then make Pokemon to use in Stadium. And we'll see how much I'll do in Stadium. I'll beat the game, beat everything, I think, and then like I heard there's like a challenge where you beat the game with like or some I don't know what to call them. Let's call them facilities, like some of the places with every Pokemon. So maybe I'll do that, maybe I won't. There's a lot of things I want to do, so I don't know how much time I want to invest in just Stadium. And there's Gen 2, which is the generation I feel like I'm the most nostalgic about, even though it's not my first one. So I'm gonna play through Crystal, which I've actually never done because I had Gold as a kid, and then later on I bought Crystal from a friend. But before I started the first playthrough, the battery died. So when I finally started the playthrough, I never got around to finishing it. And Stadium 2, kind of the same story as Stadium 1, except don't think I've ever played Stadium 2. And I have played a little bit of Stadium 1. And then there's also the Battle Tower, but the first Battle Tower started in Crystal. It works very differently compared to the more modern one. Like I haven't played the Battle Tower. I'm not completely familiar with it, but I know roughly. I think it's like you always face the same trainers. I think. I could be wrong. But it's also interesting in that it's like there's a challenge at level 10, level 20, all the way up to level 100. And you face different teams. So that would be interesting because you can make a lot of different teams and like a lot of different Pokemon would be good because, of course, at level 10, you don't have let's say, a Dragonite or a Tyranitar, but you do have a Butterfree or whatever. So that would be interesting. So I want to get through that at some point. Generation 4, this one I'm already playing, like Battle Revolution. I'm making videos somewhat regularly. I plan to finish, like beat every Coliseum in the game at the highest difficulty. And then I'll probably try to do the same thing, but instead of using the teams that I've made for it, I will use the in-game trade system, where there's a system which is kind of like it's a little bit like the factory in Emerald. Like if you beat a trainer, you can trade one of their Pokemon for yours, but after you finish the round, those Pokemon, they stay on your team. And that way you can create stronger and stronger teams to take on the different Colosseums, which actually have like legendaries. Things like Kyogre just appear. Like it's a pretty tough game. It's really interesting. But yeah, I didn't have this game as a kid, so I've never had to struggle with only rental Pokemon or whatever. But I've gotten some requests from people who struggled as a kid who would really like to see me beat the game with rental Pokemon. So I probably will at some point. But this will probably take quite a while. And then there's also the Frontier. I've not done that much in the Gen 4 Frontier. Like, I have gold symbol for the tower. I don't remember if I have more symbols. Maybe I have some silver somewhere. But I haven't done that much with Gen 4 Frontier yet. And I probably will. I don't know when. Maybe it won't even be this year yet. Depending on when I do what. Because I think like Colosseum XD, I'm going to be doing those first. And then probably starting in Gen 1. But we'll see how it goes. And then Gen 5. Gen 5 is my least played gen in this list. I've actually never completed a playthrough of Black or White 2. But I really want to, because the Pokemon World Tournament sounds really interesting to me, really cool. Like, it's not like you face like all the important trainers from the last 5 generations, like the gym leaders, the champions, Elite Four, I'm pretty sure. And that sounds really cool. It's not like the same kind of challenge as the Frontier in terms of difficulty, but I think it would be cool to go there with like a team of my favorite Pokemon or something like that. And then of course there's the Subway, which is basically the tower. I've probably played it a little bit when like Black was the current generation, Black and White, but I've not really played it since. But I think that would also be interesting. There's a lot of more options we have in Gen 5. The same with Gen 4. Like in Gen 4 you get Trick Room, which is probably one of the biggest things. I know like Trick Room is really good for the doubles in the tower. And I kind of wish Gen 3 had Trick Room. I want to use a Clamperl in Gen 3. But I've used it in Gen 4 because Trick Room is available. And Clamperl is secretly a little bit of a monster. But yeah, Gen 5 has even more options. Drought Ninetales becomes available, and Ninetales is one of my favorites, and that works well with Vileplume or Blossom, which Otter's line is my favorite Pokemon line. So I think that would be cool to build a team with that. And of course, many other teams or team styles and options. Like there's way more items, more moves, more abilities, more Pokemon. There's a lot that's available there that we don't get in Gen 3. Then later generations, I don't have as much of a plan of playing these at the moment. Except I think it would be maybe interesting, like for like Omega Ruby. Of course, there's no Frontier, which I'm still really bummed about. Like, why is there no Frontier? There's really no excuse. Other than, well, it's a remake of Ruby and there's no Frontier in Ruby. Yeah, but there was no Frontier in Gold. And Heart Gold, Soul Silver have a Frontier. So there's really no excuse. But there is like the Maison, which is pretty much the Bell Tower, as far as I'm aware. I haven't played the Maison since like Gen 6 was current. But I think it might be interesting to do like a comparison at some point between the Battle Tower in Emerald and what kind of strategies are good in Gen 6. Like the equivalent of the Battle Tower, because same as the Gen 4, Gen 5, there's so many more strategies available. And there's power creep and all sorts of stuff. Like some things will not be as good. Some things maybe are as good or even better. I don't know. And something that is interesting is there is, I'm pretty sure, a boss battle for doubles. And I think even for triple battles, which is something we're missing out on in Gen 3 and 4. And So yeah, it could be interesting. Then there's Gen 7 Ultra Sun. I kind of like Gen 7. I haven't played it as much in many years, really. But I used to play a little bit of VGC back in Gen 7, so I have a bit of a soft spot. So maybe there will be a little bit of Battle Tree content at some point, who knows? I already kind of made one because because I wanted to see a Starve team, but a Starveberry team, but in Gen 3 that was so horrible. I went to Gen 7 so I had access to Gluttony. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe there will be some of that. And then Gen 8 BDSP also doesn't have a frontier, as far as I'm aware, just a battle tower, but it does also have a boss battle for doubles. Similar with Omega Ruby, it may be interesting to like compare at some point. Like, what is the battle tower like here compared to what it was back then? And then, of course, there are more games. I wasn't really a fan of Sword and Shield, and I haven't finished Scarlet Violet. But maybe in the future, I don't know. For now, I don't have any plans. As far as I'm aware, there's no battle tower or anything in Gen 9. Maybe that comes out with a DLC at some point. I don't know. We'll see. Of course, I could also just do a playthrough of a game. There could be Nuzlocke of like any of these games. I don't know yet what exactly I'm gonna do. But yeah, we'll see. For now, there's no plans, no real plans for much outside of the first 5 generations. And I think it will be a very long time before I get through all of the first 5. I'm not completely sure yet how I'm gonna do this with like the uploads. I think like right now, kind of what I'm doing is like one upload of Battle Revolution a week ish. Like, it's been less than that, but maybe I will do something similar. Like, I mostly focus on Emerald, but I'll do something from a different generation once a week or something like that. Maybe twice a week, depending on streams or whatever. If I do more. But for now, it will probably be like once a week. Then there's other games. I've made a few videos of Conquest, which almost nobody watches, but that's okay. I want to finish this playthrough. Maybe I'll start streaming this instead of doing videos. I don't know. But I'm gonna finish Conquest at some point. Even though there's like months gaps between each upload. I may have already recorded something that I haven't uploaded yet, and I did that like a month ago. Don't remember. But yeah, that will be here. I think it's interesting because I also like this style of game, and we'll get to more of that later, like the more strategy, turn-based strategy. Well, I guess regular Pokemon is also turn-based strategy, but in a different kind of turn-based strategy. And then there's also the Mystery Dungeon series, which I haven't played in a very long time. I've only played the first 2, Red Rescue Team, and the one I had was Explorers of Darkness. And I would like to get my hands on, I think it's Explorers of Sky, the platinum version, the style, Emerald Platinum style of that game. I also have Gates of Infinity, to Infinity, whatever I think that one's called. I've never played much of that one. Maybe I'll do playthroughs of this on stream or something at some point. But nothing planned for now. And then there are other games as well. Of course, like the Legends games, whatever. I have no plans for those at the moment. Maybe if I run into like a copy of Rangers. I haven't played those since they came out. I think that might be interesting. But I don't know if I would do a full playthrough. But might be like a fun little nostalgia stream or something. We'll see. But I don't even have those at the moment. Same goes for, let's see, Stadium 2. I don't have Stadium 2 yet. I do have Stadium 1. But I figure I still have so much time before I get to Stadium 2. I'll get my hands on a copy before then. And I think I have all these other games. And for Gen 5, I don't really need white 2. I have blacks somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. I can't find my copy of black. I may have lent it to someone and never gotten it back. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's it for Pokemon games. Then other games, because I've only uploaded Pokemon on this channel. But that's not the only series of games that I'm interested in. And originally it wasn't my goal to only upload Pokemon. Like I was gonna start with Pokemon, like I said before. Before I uploaded anything, I was working on a playthrough of Red. That was what I was gonna start with. And I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna be playing any other games on this channel. But I may. So I'm gonna talk about some of the games that may appear. I might also just stream them on the other channel if I want to do gameplay, or there will only be like a finished, like a big video about I did the, I don't know, playthrough of this game after I don't know how many years, or a challenge run of this game or whatever. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna talk about some of the games that I'm interested in and that you may see here at some point. So the first one I want to talk about is Monster Hunter Stories 3, which is kind of a Pokemon style game. It's a spin-off of Monster Hunter, which I really like. Like I started with Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii, and I've recently been playing a little bit of it again because some years ago a fan group made the online servers available again, so you can play with other people again on this really old game, which is really cool, and I want to do more of. But yeah, for now, Monster Hunter Stories is like a spin-off where you're kind of like you have these monsters as your companions, kind of like Pokemon, but also very different. And I kind of wish like Pokemon got like the passion that these games have. Because I played like Stories 2. I played a little bit of Stories, the first Stories, but I got it on my phone and then I stopped commuting, and that's the only time I played on my phone, so I never finished that game. But I finished the second game, and I really like that game. And the third game is looking really good from what I've seen in like showcases, trailers. So this comes out in March, I think. And I'm definitely going to be playing it. Maybe I'll be streaming it or whatever. I think it will be interesting. And yeah, I wish Pokemon got like the love this series is getting, because it's looking really cool. There's actually like cool animations for your monsters, which is getting a little bit better in Pokemon, but still really bad. But yeah, you might see some of this. Then I already showed this earlier. I'm also interested in the main Monster Hunter games, which are a completely different style. So I like to do some more Try. Maybe I'll do some of that. Maybe I'll do some streams. Maybe some of you guys are Monster Hunters as well. Maybe you have nostalgia for Try. Maybe you want to do some online co-op. There are also other games that I want to play more of, like Wilds I really enjoy, but haven't played that much of yet. I still need to catch up on some of the updates. There's Generations Ultimate, which I have for the Switch, but I've not played yet. And I've heard it's a really great game, so I definitely want to get on that. I don't know what of this might be on the channel, if any of it. but we'll see. Then for a completely different series, Fire Emblem. This is a turn-based strategy game that's kind of like Conquest. It's a little bit different, but it has the same kind of map grid. And this used to be like when I played when the GBA was current, I was playing Pokemon, Fire Emblem, and Final Fantasy V. So I'd like to revisit some of these games. Like out of these games, besides maybe Monster Hunter Stories, which is the most like Pokemon, I think Fire Emblem is the most likely to appear on the channel because even though it's a completely different style of game, except for comparing it to Conquest, I think there's quite a bit of quite a few similarities with Pokemon. Like in Pokemon, you catch your favorite Pokemon, use those to battle. And in Fire Emblem, it's kind of similar where you use your favorite characters, use them to battle. It's also like a very Nuzlocke style of game. Like here, if someone dies, they're gone. They die forever. Some small exceptions here or there. And I think that's also interesting. So maybe I'll do, they call it an Iron Man playthrough, where you don't reset if someone dies because you can reload the map, start over, and then finish it when nobody died. But in Iron Man, you don't restart when you lose someone. Maybe I'll do some of that. Maybe not. Then Final Fantasy V for the GBA. I haven't played this in a really long time, but it used to be like one of those games I played all the time. And I used to know like all these strategies. Like I would have like, oh, I'm gonna train up here or something, or there's this really cool item here. I have that with a lot of older games where I used to know like all these things, and the internet wasn't as big of a thing back then, so they were all strategies I made up myself or things I discovered, which now I've mostly forgotten, unfortunately. But I think it would be cool to maybe replay this at some point. Maybe that will be streams, I don't know. Like for all these games, I don't know yet if they'll appear. And yeah, 5 is really the only Final Fantasy game I've really been like big into. I've played a few others. Like, I played 3 and 4 on the DS. And other than that, not that much. I also played the real-time strategy game on the DS for, it's called Revenant Wings, I think. And I recently got that one as well, so who knows, maybe that will appear at some point. Then there's Adrian Odyssey, which is a somewhat niche dungeon crawler, also turn-based. I really like this series. It's a lot more difficult compared to some of the more mainstream games. Like it has like let's say it has turn-based combat a little bit similar to Final Fantasy. Some of the older games. But the difficulty, like it's not comparable. Like a random encounter in Final Fantasy, you just spam random attacks or your basic attacks and you win and you beat many of these encounters. You barely need to do anything, heal, whatever. In Adrian Odyssey, you run into a random encounter when you're new in an area. If you're not careful, you just lose. And you lose like your progress to the last time you saved. Of course, I haven't played these games as much in recent years, but I do have a fair bit of experience, so I don't think they're as difficult anymore as I thought originally. But they're definitely challenging, and I think they're really fun. Like you get to make your own party of like you get to choose the classes for your characters, their skills. And depending on what you go for, you can go for completely different playstyles, which I think is really interesting. maybe that will appear. I'm not sure which game I would play first because there's quite a few. Although the series is a little bit dead because it was really a DS and 3DS series because you're drawing the map on your touchscreen, which is really cool. But of course, touchscreen isn't as big of a thing anymore. And the most recent, like I think 2 years ago, they did what I have the image of here. They did an Origins collection. They remade or remastered like the first three games and released those on like Switch, PC. I don't know if it got elsewhere. But yeah, so I may do something with that. Then this is a even more niche series, I think, Luminous Arc, which is also like a grid-based strategy game. Which is this one is more like Conquest than Fire Emblem is, I think. But this is mostly it's very like Final Fantasy Tactics, if you know that game. And I used to really enjoy this series back when it was current on DS. I haven't played it since, but I would like to replay it and see how well does it hold up. Is it actually any good, or is it kind of just an anime trash style video game? I don't know. I'll have to find that out. And then there's Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor, which I also haven't played since it was out on the DS. I will probably be playing the remaster for the 3DS because it got a couple more options or a couple more features, which would be cool. This one, there's a little bit of a theme here. This one is also a grid-based strategy game. And then completely different, well, a real-time strategy game, Age of Empires 2. Also some other games, maybe, like Stronghold, Crusader. I really liked that game as a kid. I thought it looked really cool, but I don't like playing it as much. I don't know. I think like you have some really cool base building in that game, but I don't really like the attacking your opponent part of that game. So I don't know. But Age of Empires, I like a lot more. I don't play it as much now, and it has been a while, but I've played this quite a bit, and it was maybe not my first PC game I ever played, but it was like the first real PC game. Like that was not just some small game that you got back when you had like your first PC. There was an actual game. Yeah, I don't know what I would do with this. Maybe just because back when we had our first PC, we had the demo version of Age of Empires 2, which was only like one map against the same opponents every time. Maybe I'll just do like play that map again, relive that, because back then, of course, I was very bad at it. But years ago, I taught myself, well, I learned how to play the game, like how you play it competitively, kind of. Like I'm not very good at it compared to other players, but I'm very good compared to people who don't know what they're doing, which includes me as a kid. So maybe I'll get some revenge on the AI who always beat me if I went to like there's like the really easy difficulty, which was too easy for me as a kid, or it was kind of boring because the AI didn't really do much. But then I went like one difficulty higher to moderate, and then the AI would actually attack me, and I could do nothing. Like I didn't have any defenses, and I would always lose to cavalry archers being sent into my base, and I would have no defenses. Which is that's at least how I remember it. So maybe I'll get some revenge. Do that at some point. And I don't know what else. Maybe there's like with Monster Hunter, maybe there are some people who like to play this. Maybe we'll play online sometime. Who knows? There are, of course, many other games that I'm interested in. Maybe even games that I haven't played yet, like Monster Hunter Stories 3. I've, of course, not played that yet because it's not out yet. Most of these games, like all these other games, I have nostalgia for them. And I want to replay them again after not playing them for a very long time. But there are also like older games or newer games that I haven't played yet. Like I've got a copy of Final Fantasy Tactics for the GBA, which I've never played yet. So far, I got the copy and then I saw there was like a remake for it on the Switch, I think. But yeah, I'll probably play the GBA version because that's the one I have. If I get around to that, and don't know if I'll make videos about that. And there's other series like Golden Sun, which I always heard good things about, and I recently picked up the first game. So maybe that will be something. And there's also other games that I have nostalgia about. Like I was recently thinking, like back on the Game Boy Color, I used to play like Harry Potter games, and at the time I thought those were really, really fun and cool. I don't know how that would hold up to what I think now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna replay those, but that could be another thing. So yeah, that's enough rumbling about potential games that I may or may not play on this channel in the future. I still don't know if it will just be Pokemon content or there will be something else. We'll see. But yeah, I would like to hear what would you like to see on this channel or on my other channel, which has like one video, so doesn't have anything right now. But I will try my best to change that in the near future. I think probably the first video is gonna be about Tangela, because I think that's maybe the best set that I've built so far. Like it's by far not the best Pokemon. Like I think for an underappreciated Pokemon, I think Cursed Dusclops is probably the best thing I've built. But Dusclops is a lot better than a Tangela. So I think the Tangela build is definitely the best thing I've built considering the strength of the Pokemon. And I've already like worked on I want to try making a video with a script, which I've not done before. And I'm kind of struggling with it. Like it's tough. I don't know. I'm just used to just talking and hope I I get everything I want to talk about. But I'm gonna try a script, see how it goes, and then we'll see if I continue to use scripts for the next videos or if I do it like the first video, which is like this, a kind of a PowerPoint presentation style thing where I just talk about some of the points I've written down and hope I don't forget anything. But yeah, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to me in the last year, who watched last year. Got almost 300 subscribers, very close. Which, I don't know. I wasn't expecting anything. And this, of course, isn't the biggest amount of people, but that's a lot of people. Almost 300 people subscribe to me. That's imagine that in a room. That's a lot of people. So I really appreciate it, and I hope I can continue to make interesting content. Hopefully, it will be more interesting now that I'm giving myself more time for each video. And I can work on more interesting teams, a bigger diversity of teams. Because I think that was really kind of hurting the channel, and it just isn't as interesting for viewers when I keep making the same style of team, or I keep uploading the same team. Like, I think long streaks, I'm definitely gonna keep uploading long streaks every once in a while when I'm going for one. But I don't want to do it too much, of course. And I also don't want to keep making just like tower stall, because it's good in the tower. I'm good at playing stall, but it's not that interesting to watch, I think. At least not too much of it. Like, it's interesting to see the play style, like how does a team work? Why is it so good? But to keep seeing it over and over, that's not as interesting. And I definitely want to make some more offensive teams, because that's a lot more fun to play for the average person. Also for me in a lot of cases. Like, it's really satisfying to get a long streak with like not a single Pokemon dying in a round, like I did with Calm Morning Wind. Most of the rounds, nobody died. But an offensive team is just more accessible. Like, most people play more offensively, or at least not as stally as I do. Which is also why I like playing the doubles as much as I do, because hyper offense is just really good in doubles. But yeah, that's it for now. There will be more content soon. I'm not sure yet what, but like I said, the cowbell team will show up sometime soon. Maybe the gym leaders. Maybe that will take a while longer. We'll see. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you think.